The Quick Diz Takes podcast is a Quick Diz Takes production and is part of the Quick Diz Takes family of podcasts.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hello, I'm Michael Eisner.
Oh boy! What's up, guys, and welcome to the Quick Diz Takes podcast, episode number 65. I am your host, Tim LeBeau. With me, as usual, is Mr. John Castano.
Hello.
Mrs. Sarah Castano.
Hey, howdy, hey.
And Mr. Stephen Lanzi.
Cheers.
All right, so today we are talking favorite sit-down restaurants in the Magic Kingdom and also favorite quick service restaurant in the Magic Kingdom. We'll do an elimination series. We have run out of shows, so it will be just attractions. And then we will put Danny DeVito, God bless his heart, in a Disney park. So, without further ado, Johnny, what do you have for your favorite sit-down and favorite quick service meals, restaurants, what have you, in the Magic Kingdom?
I have the two correct answers, which are the first one is for sit down is Liberty Tree Tavern is my favorite sit down restaurant actually in all of Disney. It's we have to do it. Well, I don't say we, but I have to be in that restaurant every time I go. I mean, they have. I know they have, not right now. I don't think during COVID, they don't. They have, like, you know, the family style, and then they have a regular menu. I don't think I've ever ordered off the regular menu. We've always done the family style, which is basically like Thanksgiving dinner, which is pretty good. I think you get turkey. You get turkey. What else you get? You get pork and like
pork.
a pot roast.
Pork and turkey.
Okay, you get the pork too.
Possibly chicken as well. Possibly.
Yeah, and then they get, you get the mac and cheese and the green beans and the mashed potatoes. It's good. And then being, I like history and stuff, and then each room is dedicated to like a different Thomas Jefferson or George Washington or Ben Franklin, each room. So it's that old kind, based on like I guess New England, Philadelphia-ish, that whole old 1770 style. And then my favorite thing is the dessert, which is the toffee cake thing, which I made at home. It's probably my favorite thing. I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about it, but it's, I don't know. It's just nice, I guess, comfort food over. It's just a nice little, especially in the summer. It's a nice little, when we go, a nice little Thanksgiving meal in the summer.
I have never been there.
Really?
Yeah. So, Sarah, am I safe in assuming that that's your favorite sit down at Magic Kingdom as well? Or
I do really enjoy it. It is very scrumptious. I do love me a Thanksgiving dinner year round. But I knew that that's where Johnny was going to go. And so my favorite, which if we go, we go. If we don't, we only discovered it a couple trips ago, and it's Columbia Harbor House. And so we're from New England. We've lots of really good seafood up here.
It's
and
not a sit-down restaurant.
We thought they didn't serve us. They already screwed up.
that's all right. We're talking about both here.
I know, but I'm just saying it's your favorite quick service then.
That
It's more of like a Pinocchio village house. You wait in the little stanchions and then you go sit down. Because we sat upstairs, so it's one of the, it's a different. You think it's a. I understand how you made the mistake, but it's
all right.
There's no waiter basically. But it's sit down quality in a quick service.
All right, we're gonna go with that.
Mm-hmm.
The atmosphere is really cool. It's like the colonial harbor side, kind of a dock side seaport. It's not as historically entwined as Liberty Tree Tavern, But if you're used to good seafood, if you're looking for a good seafood meal while you're in Disney, I feel like I do a lot of things that are out of the norm. And every once in a while, I just want something like from home, but that's the place to go. It is really good. They're really big portion sizes from what I remember. And I do have like the standard like chicken fingers for kids and fries and stuff like that. So if seafood's not exactly your thing, but everybody else in your party is really excited for seafood, there's still something for you there. And then my quick service is actually qualify as snack. It's Aloha Isle for the Dole Whip. Because I gotta get me, it has to be from Aloha Isle. It can't be from the Sunshine Tree Terrace. For whatever reason, it tastes better
Not a Dole Whip from there.
next to the tiki room.
Dole Whips are amazing. Is it bad that Dole Whips are popping up all over the place now, though,
No,
in the parks?
no.
Like, it doesn't take away from kind of.
I think people made a big deal because Dole Whips are delicious and you could only get them in Magic Kingdom. And now they're in more and more parks. You can get them in the Springs. You can get the Dole Whip nachos.
I saw that when I was there.
They
the
are
other day.
delicious.
I think like anything else, you know, I mean, I remember the stand. It was literally like a to-go window, right? At least like for us,
Yep.
Rhode Island, you know, we go to Iggy's, you know, this is little window, little head pops out. What do you want? You know, and then all of a sudden I went again, and now it's this huge area. But I think it's just, you know, it may take a little bit away because you don't have that one centralized place. But let's be honest, I mean, just the way everything is now with the internet, if Disney does anything good, it is a good food, a good drink. Everybody, like, it's not word of mouth anymore. You know, it just gets posted to every Disney blog website. And so you need to be able to accommodate. I mean, I love a Dole Whip. Maybe it takes a little bit away, but I mean, well, you know, I think it's a good call to spread it out a little bit, just so the line's a little quicker.
So, what do you like? Is your while we got you talking here? What is your favorite sit-down restaurant?
I can't say I've experienced Magic Kingdom as much as some other parks with food. I don't know why it just hasn't happened, but I do really like Be Our Guest. Just the detail that it has. The French beer was actually really good. Steak was good too. Also, I mean, for years you hear about the gray stuff. Now you get to actually have it, so I would say either Be Our Guest, or I think it was the Crystal Palace.
Mhm.
That's been really good for character breakfast. You know, you have Winnie the Pooh. You know, you got some of the classic characters. So very, very happy with that place as a breakfast. I mean, the desserts and everything. So I would say that's kind of where I'm hanging out with my favorite sit down.
All right, I'm with you on that too. My food experiences are not extensive in the Magic Kingdom. So when I pick my favorite sit down, which I'm about to do, I'm basically picking based upon the fact that, I mean, just what I've pretty much eaten there. I don't have many choices. I've done Be Our Guest. I've done Cinderella's Castle, and I did Skipper Canteen, and that's it. And I'm picking Skipper's Canteen because I don't know. I just think that it's probably one of the more unique menus a Disney restaurant has to offer, maybe. I would say, outside of Animal Kingdom. Kind of has like the African cuisine, and it's themed very well around the Jungle Cruise, which I like. You know, they get the little funny puns when you go in there and all that kind of fun stuff. So, yeah, I think that's probably my favorite. That's definitely my favorite sit-down restaurant. And as far as, you know, I'll turn it over to the quick service now. I'm probably gonna go ahead and agree with Sarah about the Harbor House. I've been there a few times. First time was by chance because it rained and it was just started to pour. And instead of running into the tiki room like Landy would do, I ran into the Harbor House instead to seek shelter. And we had to eat anyway, so we did, and it was good. The only thing is, it just popped in my mind that Pickles Bills exist in Magic Kingdom too. Yeah, I'm still sticking with Columbia Harbor House.
Quick service for me is Casey's Corner. I know it's just basically hot dogs and corn dogs and all, but I don't know. There's just something about, I don't know. I like their specialty hot dogs usually. I mean, I think I've had what do we have? The buffalo one I think was there. I know they usually have a different one every month, but when we went, I think it was a buffalo one, or you can get like the chili cheese one. And I don't know. I just like just your classic theme park hot dog meal. But it's like, I don't know, the size of everything is good. It's just, it's definitely a meal a hot dog you could share too.
I'm really surprised. I thought for sure you were going to go with Friar's Nook.
Well, that's only my favorite for one thing, which is the buffalo chicken tots, which are really good. So I don't go there for that. But overall, the meal, if I go with a meal, it'd be at Casey's Corner, and just the whole, the baseball theme is cool with the old school baseball, the statue and everything. And you got the guy that plays the piano out there, which is, you get the little entertainment. It's just really, and then, I mean, if you can get a seat, it's a nice place to sit and just people watch right at the hub, and you get the view of the castle. It's just in a nice little spot too, if you can get a seat with the limited seating.
It is in a good spot. And then for those of you that are interested in learning a little bit more about Casey and that poem, is it Main Street to Midway or Midway to Main Street? Rob plays.
Yeah, it's Midway to Main Street now.
He just did a video on the history of the poem and everything. It's pretty interesting. So check that out if you haven't seen it. All right. So there's our picks for best restaurants in the Magic Kingdom. And now it is time for our favorites. Well, it was a lot more of my favorite when the Tiki Room was looming large. But now that we've gotten past that, it's still fun, but the Tiki Room is no longer a thing. Well, it is a thing. It actually won. But yeah, we can no longer give Lancy a hard time, unfortunately. At least until our park is built in our imaginations. So without further ado,
Let's get ready to rumble.
let's pick our favorite.
Michael Buffer's gonna come after you.
That soundbite classic. Yeah, maybe they won't let me monetize this video because of that. Here we go.
Winnie the Pooh.
Ooh, we got Winnie the Pooh on the docket. 4 middle-aged people talking some Winnie the Pooh.
Little Mermaid.
And Little Mermaid. 2 charming attractions, might I add. All right. Well, we've been starting with Johnny all day. We'll continue. Johnny, what do you got on Little Mermaid and the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh?
All right. Well, I'd say this is a good matchup because they're both along the same lines. As a little kid, I very much liked Winnie the Pooh. That was my childhood stuffed animal that you couldn't go anywhere without, was Winnie the Pooh. So he has a special place for me in my heart. The attraction is decent. It's nothing like for a dark ride. It's nothing spectacular. But I do like, I like the whole story of it. It goes through a nice little story and his little adventure, and it's got the with the Heffalumps and Woozle scene. I do like that scene and the bouncing with Tigger. I like the whole overall story. And then I think Little Mermaid is as far as like the attraction goes, like I think the animatronics they're better than the Pooh ones. But my problem was, and I mean the outside of Little Mermaid, I think is probably one of the best themed things in all of Magic Kingdom. I love the whole Prince Eric's castle, and that really that Steamboat Willie, Hidden Mickey at the exit. And then my problem with Little Mermaid is you go through the whole story of the movie, and then you get to the Ursula scene, and she goes, she gets her voice, and then all of a sudden, you have that little thing of her dying, and then Ariel's getting married to Prince Eric. So it's very abrupt, and it's kind of not. I don't know. I think they went too into detail into the ride, and then all of a sudden they ran out of room and just had to end the ride. So I don't like the abruptness of it. So I think with that, I'm gonna go with Winnie the Pooh because it has an overall more of a complete story, I guess. And I don't know. I have a special place for Winnie the Pooh, like I said. So Winnie the Pooh.
All right. Steven?
So both classics. I really do enjoy both rides. I think the animatronics for Little Mermaid are really good. I mean, Sebastian. I mean, they made that whole under the sea really, come to life. So, but I mean, to me, like Winnie the Pooh, number one. I mean, they're both classic. You can't even say one's classic than the other. But I still like it. I still grew up on it, so it's nostalgic for me. And to me, it's more about what that type of ride is. Kind of more of what Peter Pan should be, right? At least an updated version of it. I'll go with for the similar reasons. I will go with Winnie the Pooh.
Very nice. I think Winnie the Pooh is going to run away with this. I got a feeling, but we'll see where Sarah's at.
So I also really like Winnie the Pooh. I like the interactive queue area. I think my favorite part, although least favorite part, is the honey walls where
COVID started.
Even just like in general as a teacher, I'm just like,
I don't know if it started there, but it flourished. That's for sure.
Yeah, that didn't help, I guess.
But it is. I like that it gave the kids something to do in longer lines. It's got, the music and it's got the flowers, and it was cool. And then I thoroughly sanitized our hands before we got on the ride.
Yeah, it's bad.
But I think it was a really cool concept having those honey walls, those touch screens, that wherever you wrote, the idea itself is just really cool. And I was really impressed because I feel like that's been there for quite some time. And that idea, maybe not the technologies behind them, but the ideas of that inline entertainment, I think that was a really good thing that could be incorporated in more lines. I get why it's not, but I think it could be. I do love me some Little Mermaid. Like Johnny was saying, the theming of the outside is awesome. That Steamboat Willie hidden Mickey at the very end is really cool. As much as Ariel is one of my favorites, it does kind of bum me out that we had a newer attraction that has sequels to it, and we just got a condensed version of the first film. It's not even like we did a little bit of the first one and then, oh, that's right, the story continues. I mean, if I'm going to get a repeat of, or like a little synopsis of the original movie, maybe give me something a little bit more. Like, I don't know. That's just kind of my preference. I do like the under the water scenes. I like the under the water. Good, it's Little Mermaid.
Oh, bother.
The under the sea area. And I do like how they did the scene for Kiss the Girl. I think that was kind of a cute idea too. I think the mix of screens and animatronics is a really good use of what they had. I am really torn on this one. I do enjoy that Pooh is very much a Pooh cartoon style. It's the pages of the book. It's, like you were saying, it's what Peter Pan should have been, or could even still be. But I think I'm going to go Little Mermaid on this one.
Think about our children. How happy were they with the Pooh scene where you see him stuck in the tree? The cute little faces, how happy they were. You're not going to go with that one?
They were pretty cute, but this is my vote, not the children's.
Okay.
Wow.
Also,
Winnie the Pooh's very upset about this.
I didn't realize, but they had like the little, I think we only realized it this last time that we went, they had the little screens and the little crab follows you from screen to screen. He has like little jobs for you to do.
Well, because we've always that's always like available fast pass, and we just
Yeah.
grab that fast pass instead of waiting in line. That's
We actually went through the line. It's got this cute little like hermit crab that like hangs out and has little treasures and stuff. And
It's supposed to be a game. You're supposed to like
I know.
sort the thing, but we always just look, an extra fast pass. It's always available. Yeah,
it is true.
well,
But yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to drag this out. I'm going to go with Winnie the Pooh, and I'll tell you why. I don't like Little Mermaid in the sense I like the movie, but I don't like I don't like, first of all, that is a carbon copy of the one in California, because I feel like I get the idea of making clone rides sometimes, but like, did we really have to clone like the most simplistic dark ride there is? It's got awesome theming, like outside. The castle looks great and all that stuff, and like the rock work and all. But does anybody else feel like it did way too much? It would be like if you went to, it would be like going to Peter Pan and Peter Pan having this ridiculous Neverland theming outside of it, and then going in and seeing the Peter Pan ride. It's very underwhelming.
yeah.
Versus what I see on the outside of the building.
They definitely did do the outside more than the inside.
Because if you look at it in California Adventure, and I've never been on it there, but I've seen it on videos, it's not overwhelming. Like the outside just kind of is what it is. And this one, you got all this crazy rock work and everything. And I understand they made a new fantasy land. Everyone's all excited. But I do feel like they tossed that one in there because they needed another attraction. I just don't understand why we didn't get Beauty and the Beast there. Like why they didn't open a new fantasy land and just put a Beauty and the Beast ride right on the side of BR. I mean, you have Gaston's Tavern, you have BR Guest. And then it's like right over to the right, there's Little Mermaid. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't hate the ride, but it's just very blah to me. Like Sarah said, it's a book report style ride, which is fine. I mean, Disney has those. And I mean, so is Winnie the Pooh, I guess. But I don't know. I just can't. Every time I go on it, I'm just.
But at least Winnie the Pooh had different adventures. It's called The Adventures of. Like it was a cartoon, so it had multiple different adventures he went on.
Yeah. But you like Little Mermaid, I thought.
I do.
Oh, okay.
I'm helping you in your case, my friend.
No, I it's just, and then like the Tigger bouncing scenes, it does a little bit of something. There's some pretty cool special effects. To me, there's just nothing really to write home. Like what is there, I guess, besides the Ursula animatronic to write home about with Little Mermaid?
I just another point to the Winnie the Pooh ride. Like as you guys are saying, like it changes. Like it's very light and a lot, very bright in color, and then it goes dark. And the music changes. It has transitions. So I would say that's another point.
Another thing that bothers me about Little Mermaid, and I know we're under the sea during the ride, but Disney has a ton of boat rides. And how is that not a boat ride?
Yeah, right.
Just for the very idea of the smell of the water and the I don't know. Maybe have the opening scene be the boat that Eric's on when it crashes and he goes under the sea and your boat gets a little bit wavy.
Yeah.
But instead, some Imagineer was like, let's do shells with a water projection on the back.
I mean, basically, it's like a similar track as Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, it's an Omni mover. Yeah,
I think they just did that to get more people on the ride. Keep it flowing. That's it.
But I mean, you can do it with the boats. Look at Small World. You can load up like 1,000 people on that ride. But Winnie the Pooh for the
they
win.
cheaped out.
Give me Pooh. I got a Pooh. I got to do it. So, all right. Well, I was actually surprised Little Mermaid got a vote.
It was close.
The Little Mermaid's good.
Yeah.
It isn't in a way. It's just, like I said, it's hard to explain, but it's.
And I think they could have very easily gone an all screen route, and they didn't. I think that's kind of its redeeming. They did like a combination of like the classic animatronics with some screen work. Yeah. But I am kind of bummed about the storyline.
It's just, if you put it in, like I said, if you put it in Fantasyland where where it's a small world and all that stuff, and kind of gave it just a little very underwhelming facade, and it was just a quick little dark ride. Like those are over there. I think it would like fit in my mind better, but it's just you go and it's like it's got one of the better show buildings and presentations I've seen at a Disney park. And then you get in there and it's like this little omnimover ride that's just not awful by any means, but it's just not great. I don't know. Anyway, it is now time for everyone's favorite segment. And today we are putting Danny DeVito into a Disney park. And it's funny, I was looking for Danny DeVito quotes before this segment today, and I couldn't find anything that great. All I could find was, and it was a lot of Batman stuff. But I think he's been, better suited. I think he's had a lot of good roles, not just the Penguin. But we'll find out what we came up with here. We're just gonna take a quick break and we'll come back with that. What's up, guys? It's Tim. Just here to remind you to check out our new website, quickdiztakes.com. We cover everything Disney, from our newest videos to our newest podcast, blog posts by contributors, and much more. And while you're there, do not forget to subscribe for the latest notifications on when new blog posts are posted and new videos go up. Of course, check out our YouTube page, Quick Diz Takes, and our Facebook page, Quick Diz Takes, along with Twitter at Quick Diz Takes for me, and at Palm Tree Skook for Sarah, Instagram at Quick Diz Takes Tim, and at Quick Diz Skook. And of course, if you like this, please like, share, and subscribe with friends. Thanks for listening, and now back to the show.
Mine is what I think is the greatest Danny DeVito character ever. Is Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And the perfect spot for him is from my favorite episode, which is The Nightman Cometh. You take Danny DeVito, I have props, as the troll.
Oh my God.
From the play. You put him in the place of the troll in the Norway Pavilion as an animatronic, and he can give you the Norway facts. He can sing you songs about being able to get into boys' souls. And
oh my God.
Well, if you know the episode, you got to pay the troll toll to get into the boy's soul.
Disney goes rated R, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to incorporate that character. I figured that's, they have that big troll. It's a beautiful picture spot. You make it a little animatronic. You get some Norway facts from Danny DeVito and Frank Reynolds.
All right. Sarah?
You can, if you want to redo, find make a little stage in Norway, you can do the Nightman Cometh play. Beautiful.
All right. I'm not too familiar with it, but I see where you're going. I dig it.
Oh.
Sarah, what do you got?
So I was going to throw Danny DeVito in Animal Kingdom. We're going to pull out Dino Land, and we're going to make it the mythological creatures that the section should have been. And we're going to have him as Philatides. They're going to have an obstacle style attraction, like an obstacle course, kind of like Wipeout, but, Disneyfied. And it's going to be all of the tests that Hercules had to do in order to train to become a god. I figured it'd be kind of like a fun thing, kind of like Wipeout, but like intended for small humans to do so no one gets hurt. It is Disney. But I think it would be just kind of something a little bit different to do. You could have him, voice recordings or him. Everybody's pushing for him to be Phil in the live action Hercules. Really, that's all that matters. And I think that's where I'm going to throw him. I did kind of toy around with Penguin from Batman, but I decided throwing in that little obstacle course attraction would be a lot more fun than, as much as penguins are very cute and I love them, it'd be a much better fit than just a penguin spot.
Yeah, I think that the Batman was the easiest one to go with, but to me, well, that one and this one, he was in Dumbo, so I thought to myself, I'll put him, somewhere in between the two Dumbo rides. Then I got bored with it because I thought to myself, it's kind of a cop out, and sometimes I do cop out on these. So I thought to myself, why not have him play who I think was his best role ever, Johnny? Sorry, no offense, but as Louis from Taxi. And so I would put him as Louis from Taxi, and he would. I mean, you could really pick and choose where you want to put him because I would just have him somewhere where the rides are dispatched. Maybe you know that the guy I always talk about. No one seems to know what I'm talking about. But over in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, just that tiny little window.
I waved again, and he doesn't wave. Can he see me? Somebody please leave a comment if that guy can see me. Every time, and he never. I just don't believe that if he saw me, a Disney cast member wouldn't do it back. But
You just see the blue glow from his computer screen on the screen.
it drives me nuts because I'm always like, hey, just to be stupid, and he won't do it. He won't respond.
It's like a kid on a field trip. You going like this for the big truck drivers, and they never honk their horn. You get all sad.
But anyway,
One day he'll do it, Tim.
if Danny DeVito were in that ride and he was there, he would respond with some kind of like wisecrack about pirates or, what I'm wearing or tell me to grow up because I'm, 40 at a Disney park. But anyway, something just to add a little spice to the ride. And of course, you could put him, the dispatch, because the dispatcher in It's a Small World waves. So, Johnny, maybe It's a Small World is better. You ever think about that? I don't know.
Johnny, you're muted.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Anyway.
I just love that Taxi. Taxi has been mentioned twice, and I don't think that has happened on any show, podcast, anything in probably 30 years that Taxi would be mentioned twice. So I just want to point that out.
Taxi is good. Fun fact about Taxi while we're on it and before we go, I got it in front of me because I didn't know her name. So Mary Lou Honor, who plays Elaine in that show, she has one of those unique, she can remember every day of her life.
Yep.
Which I thought was funny. They had a thing on 60 Minutes about it. It's a special thing certain people have, where they literally remember every single day of their life. And she has that ability. Whereas I can't remember what I did an hour ago.
Yeah.
But yeah. They would
I don't remember why I went into a different room.
Yeah. They would ask her like, what happened March 16th? And they give her like a random year and she'd be like this, and she'd have like detailed answers. It's really weird. Well, her and like, I don't know, there was like 4 or 5 other people doing the interview and they would all give relatively similar answers as far as it wouldn't be about their lives. It'd be like, what happened this day? Like
in the world,
in like on the news that night or something. They'd all have like it was wild. Interesting. She must have had a very hard time remembering her lines.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway. All right. So that wraps it up. Danny DeVito's in the parks. Winnie the Pooh's here to stay. Goodbye, Little Mermaid. Rest in peace, Ariel. You have now become one of those little weeds in Ursula's castle forever. Despite the fact that Sarah wanted some. Well, that's the other thing I want to touch on before we go. Sarah wanted elements from the Little Mermaid 2 and Little Mermaid 3 in that ride, huh?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're going to give me just a synopsis, could you give me more than just one? I mean, you did make 2 sequels after it.
Mm.
She named her daughter Melody.
I know. I even knew that. I think I already might have watched those, but they were those like direct.
Oh yeah.
DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. They're like an hour long. But anyway, give me Winnie the Pooh. Give me Winnie the Pooh for the win. All right. So I would say we'll be back next week, but it will be a special episode next week. So we'll be back maybe the week after. But either way, Johnny and I will be on here at some point. And have a good week, and we will see you next week.